Don't start your AI journey on the wrong foot. Find out the number one mistake beginners make and how to avoid it. Hey, it's Jacob. Welcome to this new video. And today I want to talk about the number one mistake that most beginners make about AI that is going to slow you if you're doing it. So the problem here is the problem that most people are dealing with. Maybe you've tried to implement an AI with something to do a specific task, right? And the problem with the task at the end of it is it doesn't work, right? Like it doesn't actually do the task correctly, or it kind of does a kind of okay job, but like that's not anywhere good enough, or maybe there are things that are not really working, or maybe it's not reliable, or whatever. And so when we are in this route and we are like thinking about those types of things and with those types of issues, we are like, usually we're thinking, this is I need to work more on the AI, right? I need to make it better and I need to work more on it. Basically, like, let's say you have like a large language model based AI or a neural network based AI. So let's say you have a neural network based AI and you have an issue like that. It doesn't work. And so you think, well, maybe I need more data, right? Or maybe I need a better neural network, right? A better infrastructure, or just work on, like, maybe there are issues with it, or you keep working on it to make it better and better and better. The problem is, maybe the problem might not be the AI in and of itself, right? Or even like maybe thinking about the problem in a different way might be easier to solve, even if like you're still considering the problem as being the AI. But if you think about the problem in a little bit of a different way, it might be easier to solve. But like sometimes it's just impossible also to solve, right? Like the AI is just not going to be able to perform the task, no matter how much you work on it. So this is what most people are dealing with, right? Like the problem is not necessarily the AI, it's the problem in and of itself that is just too difficult. The task is too difficult. You are not going to be able to deal with the task by just tweaking the AI and making it better. If we're talking about a large language model based AI, then by tweaking the prompts of that AI, this is how large language model based AI work, right? Like it's about like working on the prompts and making it better. If you're a beginner, that's probably what you think, even though that's not how it works, because of that reason, right? Right here, you have like the entire car that you are thinking, well, this is what I need to work on, because like it's not the car that you're working on. You're just working on a very specific part of the car, a very specific gear that is going to make the car better. And so the car is this is by just working on the gear, this is not going to make the car create a car, right? You need an actual car with multiple gears working together in order to make it move forward and in order to create an actually complex infrastructure in order to solve those problems that are extremely difficult to solve. And if anything worthwhile is extremely difficult to solve, right? So most likely you are in this precise case. So the point here is, this is not about working on a specific AI. This is about working on multiple AIs. So that is the solution to most of the problems here. Multiple AIs, right? So let me emphasize this because it's important. This is by creating multiple types of AI, multiple AIs that are working on different tasks and breaking down the task that is too complicated. This is what is going to make it better. So before I keep moving forward, you can click on the link in the description if you want to be part of my contacts. And if I want to share something with you, I'll send you an email. This is something exclusive that I don't share with anybody else. So if you want to stay in touch, then click on the link in the description again. So now, what I was talking about, like thinking about an AI as something with multiple gears working together in order to create something that is better. So if we're talking about large language models, which are like, or large language model based AI, then this is going to be like one. You have a prompt for the LLM, like let's say this is your large language model and this is the prompt, then you're gonna have that, and this is gonna be one gear of your entire AI, right? So this, you consider it as like, let's say AI1, and then you're gonna use this, let's say in an algorithm where you're gonna basically break down a different type of tasks, and that prompt that is linked to that large language model, you're gonna do multiple ones like that with multiple prompts associated to it, and maybe one of them is going to be a global one, right? This is going to be the one that is going to like basically break down the task and give that to all of the AIs that you built in order to solve the problem. That is just an example, but that just to tell you, like, this is not an all or nothing mindset. This is something that you need to have flexibility in order to solve your problem. And this is also something that is going to help in order to work on the problem. Because here is what ends up happening when you're working on a single AI, right? Let's say this is your file, the file where you have like all of the scripts and all of the entire AI, right? So let's say again, I'm sticking with the AI, large language model based AI, and so you have like all the prompts and the one prompt here with the large language model that you're using. Then the problem is you're gonna keep iterating on that prompt here, like that. So the prompt of version 1, then you're gonna have version 2, then version 3, and so on and so forth, right? And but the problem is you need to make sure that when you move from version 1 to version 2, it's getting better. And the thing is, it might be getting better in one sense, but it's not necessarily gonna get better in another type of task. Maybe you're looking at very specific things and you're looking to improve it, but by doing that, this new version is going to make the large language model outcome better, but it's going to make the rest of it a little bit worse. But like, you're not necessarily going to see it because you're going to look at like the problem, the issue, the main issue that you had with the first version of the prompt. So the problem is, it's not a way to be modular in the way you're working, because there is no way to ensure that improving one part is not gonna like make the rest worse. So that's one of the reasons why working with multiple AIs that are completely independent from one another is something that you might want to consider if you're working if you're a beginner in AI, right? It's how do you make this is what you need to focus on if you're getting started, because people think, well, I want to do a large language model based AI, so I'm going to think about like prompt engineering or something, and then they get interested in prompt engineering. But like, the point is not to be good at crafting prompts. The point is to getting good at making multiple AIs interact with each other, right? Some people call them agents. Some people call them like multiple AIs. Some people, like, it doesn't really matter the semantics of it. Like, we don't necessarily care about that. Like, the point is to have multiple things doing things that are independent of each other, right? Like, whether you call it an agent, whether you call it just a chat GPT call with different like parameters, ultimately we're talking about the same thing. And by the way, like the AI, the agent terminology is, I think, a little bit confusing because, like, what is an agent exactly? Like, what do you mean by an agent? How does it differ from a different AI or large language model? Like, is it like changing the parameters, or is it like, what is that about? I think it's a little bit like making it confusing to other people, because sometimes people think of it as something completely different from just getting better at understanding how to make multiple AI work together and working on algorithms. So just forget about all of that. Just think about working on different types of algorithms to make things better. Think about breaking things down. Think about like reflecting on the output of the things that you have using a different type of AI, and think about the best way to make them work together. So, for example, like if you have, let's say, something that, like, let's say a project that is based on data, and let's say you need to like identify when the data is going down, for example, because you let's say you're looking at like clicks on a video or something, and then or on an ad or whatever, and then when it goes down you need to remove the ad or like send an alert or something. Well, then if that's the case, what you can do is don't use an AI to do that, right? I mean, it might be working, but like who knows in terms of reliability what it's going to do, right? Like it is 10 times easier to do that using like heuristic code, so basically old school type of code, and this is going to solve this problem a lot better. That doesn't mean that you can't use an AI. It just means that for this specific problem here, don't use an AI. Maybe use an AI to do other things, right? To then, I don't know, like write a report for it, right? This is going to be very good for using a large language model in order to do that, because that's what they are good at. The point is, learn about the different ways and the different type of things that you can do with the different types of tools that you have, and that's how you're gonna get good at like making them work together. Because again, like doing an AI by tweaking the different things with a single AI, like this. First of all, you're gonna waste your time, and also like this is not something very difficult to do. Like a large language model can actually do a lot of that, right? Like tweaking different things and keep going. Like this is not that complicated to actually automate this process. And so my point is, if this actually was the answer to your problem, this problem would be solved, because again, it's not a difficult problem to automate. So people would have like large language models based AI that would solve for that problem. The problem is a little bit more complicated than that, and this is why it's a difficult problem to solve, and this is why like this is an actual skill to learn, like how to make them work together as opposed to implementing them. So if you want to be part of my contacts, click on the link in the description. And if I want to share something with you, I'll send you an email. This is the only exclusive content that I don't offer anywhere else. So if you're interested, go for it. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.